Hi friends. The media regularly reports on a parent abducting their child, but have you ever heard of an adult child kidnapping their parent? Today's case covers how this once happened and what the consequences were. Let me share the details because elder abuse matters. This case comes from various online news reports. It took more than 4 years to resolve this case of elder abuse. It began in 2018 when Tony, with the assistance of his buddy Ralph, kidnapped Tony's mom, Tina, from a dementia wing in a seniors facility. Tina was 81 years old and she suffered from severe dementia. She could no longer communicate and required medications and care that her son didn't have access to. A few hours later, he called the facility to notify them that he would not be returning her, but was taking her to an unknown location. Later, he claimed, "They were over-medicating my mom and keeping her in the facility against her will. She wanted to leave and be with her brother in Oregon, so I took her there because every time I visited, she wanted to leave." He also said that that day she had soiled pants and a black eye. Police searched for the three of them for several days before locating Tina at a relative's home. A SWAT team was called into the situation, but Tony and Ralph were not there. Tina was in decent health, and she was returned to the original facility until she passed 2 years ago. Tony and Ralph had a warrant out for their arrests and continued to hide from police. About 1 year after the kidnapping, Tony was arrested after a standoff with police, and he was charged with kidnapping and abuse of a vulnerable adult. He was released on bail, and 3 months later he failed to report for psychological evaluation, so another warrant for his arrest was issued. This time, the fugitive avoided the law for another 2 years when he was surrounded by 3 police officers at gunpoint and taken into detention. His bail was changed from $100,000 up to $1 million after a judicial review determined he was unlikely to show up at court given his past avoidance. When his case did finally come to court, Ralph was also on trial. He had turned himself in earlier and argued his innocence and been released on bail. The two agreed to a plea deal nearly 4 years after the kidnapping. They pled guilty to burglary, which meant a maximum sentence of 1 to 10 years in prison, and the kidnapping charges were dropped. Tony had been in jail for 9 months awaiting trial, while Ralph had only spent 2 months there. Tony gave a full written acknowledgement of his guilt, stating he willfully and unlawfully took his mother from the facility and committed acts of conspiracy and will fully be responsible for restitution for his crimes. He actually asked to remain in custody until sentencing, as he had nowhere to live. Ralph was released with an ankle bracelet. At the sentencing, Tony and Ralph were both given 3 years probation and no additional jail time beyond what they had already served. Well, friends, that was a drawn-out case for absolutely no value. After the kidnapping, Mom was quickly returned to her facility. To be honest, the abuse of her was minimal, but could have been much worse if things had gone sideways. Tony, though, he became a fugitive for 3 to 4 years, and Ralph was left waiting. They both spent a bit of time in jail, and then they got probation. Sometimes I really can't understand how these plea deals make sense. It doesn't appear that they will discourage others from kidnapping their parent in the future. What do you think? Should Tony and possibly Ralph have been found guilty of kidnapping and served a long time? Why change it to a burglary charge? And why just probation? The maximum was up to 10 years for burglary. Why not get closer to that? Let us know what you think in the comments below. And let's hope that future sentencing better reflects a consequence for the crime, because elder abuse matters. Friends, we're not therapists or counselors, so our goal here is to share abuse cases so that you'll know you are not alone if you are suffering from elder abuse. We hope that it's therapeutic to hear other stories, and it may also be helpful to anonymously share your own story of abuse on this channel and help others. Please check the show notes below to find out how. And finally, if you found some value in these videos of mine, please like, share, and subscribe now to grow the channel so that together we can reduce the abuse, because elder abuse matters. Please stay safe, seek help, and know that I am praying for you.